and rain in our forecast for it today, and later on, the chance of some severe weather. I'll let you know if the rain that we see this week will make a dent in our drought conditions.
Restricting social media. Today, state lawmakers are looking at age requirements for your children to use certain apps. What your family needs to know about these proposed changes.
Data center dispute. Today, people in Vance County sharing their thoughts after rezoning plans were approved without community input. The questions they're asking government leaders.
We are following these stories and more on Fox 50. WRAL News at 8 starts in 30 seconds.
At Leith Honda in Raleigh and Auto Park Honda in Cary, we make your buying process easy. And with every new car purchase, you'll enjoy complimentary oil changes and exceptional service. It's no wonder we've earned so many 5-star reviews. You'll also get peace of mind pricing with every used vehicle, and if it's not the perfect fit, no problem. Bring it back within 3 days for an easy exchange. Visit our showroom at Auto Park Honda in Cary or Leith Honda in Raleigh. It's easier here.
Your number one source for local news. This is WRAL, coverage you can count on.
Good Wednesday morning. The time is 8 a.m. Thanks for joining us on Fox 50. I'm Laura Levine.
And I'm Ken Smith. Yeah, we're expecting some rain, but it's not going to put a dent in our drought whatsoever. Let's get over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center tracking it all for us.
Our next weather maker has been moving across the country over the last several days and doing lots of damage. We're not going to see widespread damage with this. We'll see a few isolated showers around lunchtime. You can see a little rain starting to pop up there in the mountains. And then the front itself comes through after dinner time. And that's when we'll have our best chance of severe storms. We can take a look here as we get closer to, say, noon. You can see from Raleigh southward just a little bit of light patchy rain. It's certainly possible that during our first round, you don't see any rain at all. It's looking pretty light and patchy. At 7, we can start to watch that line of storms developing. At 10 o'clock, it's starting to move across the area. And this version of Futurecast shows most of it from the Triangle area northward. But I think everybody's got a chance of seeing that wave of rain coming through. The rain could be briefly heavy, and it may produce some winds that are gusty enough to produce some wind damage. It is a dry morning commute, and then we're going to have that isolated chance of some showers right around lunchtime. After that, storms arrive after the evening commute, but not everybody will see those either. So we're talking about minimal amounts of rain. We'll check that out in just a bit. We take a live look at from the WRAL Department's beautiful view of downtown, but it is gray out there. 60 degrees is our current temperature, and we'll climb into the mid 70s for this afternoon. So it does look mild for us. Not a whole lot of rain today, but a better chance on Saturday. We'll talk about how much it could be coming up. Ken?
Elizabeth, that congestion we've been tracking on I-87 coming in out of Nightdale, thinning out quite a bit right now as we look live at I-87 at Smithfield Road. These are the southbound lanes coming toward us. So let's widen out the view, give you a look at the entire stretch of I-87 going all the way back to Wendell Falls Parkway. You're just looking at a 2-minute delay at this hour. So things are definitely getting better on that stretch of that interstate. Well, the southern loop of the Beltline, where it gets really jammed up this time of the morning. I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road, those are the westbound lanes moving away from us this morning. So let's check the sensors, shall we? Give you a look at what you can expect. That southern loop of the Beltline, we're looking at a 7-minute delay, but you're coming in from the Garner, Johnston County area. No delays whatsoever between Highway 36 and the Beltline. So let's widen out the view, give you a look at some other routes heading into the Raleigh-Wake County area. Finch and Wake Forest are looking at an 11-minute delay on US 1 South. Not so much coming in out of Apex. You're just looking at a 5-minute delay. And if you're coming east on I-40 out of Durham, just a 3-minute delay. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. Breaking news. Police in Fayetteville are investigating a homicide. Officers responded to Ruby Road at about 2 this morning for reports of a suspicious person. That man was taken into custody and he led officers to a home on Abram Street. There, they found a woman dead from apparent stab wounds. Police have not yet released the name of the victim. They have also not announced any arrests. Well, we aren't expecting to get much rain this morning, but we could see some storms roll in later today. This comes as our area is in a severe to extreme drought. So WRAL's Ali Katlabar is live at Falls Lake this morning. And Ali, we will need a lot more rain to get us out of this drought.
Yeah, 10 to 12 inches of rain in about a month's time, Laura, is what we need to get out of the drought. Here at Falls Lake, we're standing on the shoreline. We're not supposed to be able to stand right here, but you can see how far the water has dropped. You can see that differentiation of color right there with the rocks. That's where it's supposed to be. Well, this week's data shows that Falls Lake is at its lowest level ever for the month of April. It's about 3 feet lower than full. Now, the WRAL Severe Weather Center expects Falls Lake to get about 1/4 of an inch of rain in the next 7 days. And the lake is the main water source for Raleigh water customers, and that's why these use restrictions are in place. And the city does say that water usage is down 35 million gallons compared to previous weeks, which is a good thing. Now, they do expect that the stage 1 water restrictions will be in effect through June. And you can track today's weather, today's rain, and the forecast on the WRAL weather app. Reporting live at Falls Lake, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
Well, state lawmakers are considering a bill that would ban social media for some North Carolina teenagers. The bill is set to be taken up by the Senate today after passing the House. Let's bring in WRAL Kirsten Clark live outside the legislative building this morning. Kirsten, lawmakers want to increase the age limit for teens wanting to create accounts.
Yes, Ken. House Bill 301 would require users be 14 or older to have a social media account instead of 13 years old. It would also require parents or guardians give permission for 14 and 15-year-olds to have an account. The companies that own TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram already commonly require account holders to be at least 13 years old. But lawmakers are concerned because of the ease some children have had in creating accounts and the perceived harms of social media use on young people. This bill would fine social media companies up to $50,000 for each time a younger teen sets up an account against the law's provisions. Families under the bill could sue companies for the violation up to $10,000. So today, the state Senate Education Committee is scheduled to talk about this bill later this morning. You can find the latest updates, of course, on WRAL.com. Live in Raleigh, Kirsten Clark, WRAL News.
Also happening today in Raleigh, students from 14 North Carolina counties will meet with state lawmakers to demand stronger laws for nicotine, specifically a bill that would raise the age to 21 in order to buy tobacco products. It's called Solly's Law. It's named after Solomon Wynn, a New Hanover County teenager who died from complications related to vaping. Reminder, our WRAL documentary team interviewed Solly's mom in our documentary Gen V, Teen Vaping in North Carolina. Our team also talked with other teens, health experts, and went undercover to see if store clerks were actually asking for ID before selling vapes in the Triangle. You can watch it on WRAL's YouTube page when you get a chance.
Right now, we are awaiting Governor Josh Stein's approval on a Medicaid funding bill. Lawmakers gave final approval of the $319 million plan last night. It fully funds the program. Debate in both chambers focused on a provision in the bill related to immigrants. It could prevent more than 20,000 legal immigrants, mostly women and children, from accessing health care that they would normally qualify for. The bill is headed to Governor Stein's desk. He has not taken a stance on this legislation. Happening today, you can share your thoughts on a new data center possibly coming to Vance County. County leaders just approved rezoning land for data centers despite pushback from community members.
Yeah, let's bring in WRAL's Kelsey Coffey. She's live right now in Raleigh. And Kelsey, people are asking many questions about how these facilities could affect local resources.
Yes, Ken, folks are asking a lot of questions today. People in Vance County will be able to share their opinion on a data center possibly coming to that area. They'll address representatives from Governor Josh Stein's office. Just last week, county leaders approved rezoning this land for a new data center without community input.
We are had enough, and y'all talking about putting another one up in this town? Ma'am, please leave.
Data centers have been a hot topic of conversation for months across the Triangle. Apex just issued a moratorium placing a pause on data center development. The same developer that submitted a proposal in Apex has now made a rezoning request in Vance County. Hyperscale data centers are massive facilities companies use to hold IT software. Business owners like Hope Crabtree say government leaders need more time to research and decide whether data centers are right for the area.
There hasn't been proper studies done for us to be able to see what's the power draw going to be, what's the energy input, what's the energy output, and what's the water consumption.
People who support data centers say they are a way to generate more money into the local economy. You can share your opinion today at 3:30 at the Civic Center at Vance Granville Community College. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Former FBI Director James Comey is expected to surrender to federal authorities in North Carolina this week. That's because a grand jury indicted him after he was accused of threatening the life of President Trump. The charges are related to a photo he shared on social media of a North Carolina beach. Federal prosecutors say the photo of seashells that spell out 8647 was a threat against President Trump. 86 is a common phrase in restaurants that means to cancel or get rid of an order. And President Trump is the 47th president of the United States. Now, responding to the indictment, Comey says he is innocent. His attorney says they plan to challenge the charges.
Gas prices in the U.S. have reached their highest levels in almost 4 years as the war in Iran stretches into a new month. According to AAA today, the national average is now $4.23. That's up 5 cents from yesterday. And as of this morning, the North Carolina average has hit $4. Concerns over stalled peace talks and shipping through the Strait of Hormuz are driving up the price. The U.S. gas inventory is also dropping. Analysts say the national average could hit $4.30 within the next 10 days. So let's take a look at prices here in Raleigh, which is up 9 more cents from yesterday to $4.10. Gas in Durham and Chapel Hill is up 8 cents from $4.12 now, and it's getting closer to $4 in Fayetteville, now at $3.97. The race for U.S. Senate coming up. New polling shows where voters stand now ahead of the midterm elections. A closer look behind the numbers that have Democrats optimistic.
Also, burrowing bees, extreme drought causing a lot of buzz beneath the ground, while the dry conditions could play a role in local produce and livestock.
And 2 rounds of rain today, one of those closer to lunchtime. That rain will be just isolated. And then after 7 or 8 o'clock, we'll have a line of storms that comes through. Not likely to bring a lot of rain, but I'll let you know what to expect coming up. 8:14, our next weather maker is this cold front that'll finally bring us some showers and thunderstorms potentially late today, mainly after dinner. What we'll see ahead of that is a few showers. You can see some of that starting to pop up closer to the mountains. We'll have a few isolated showers right around lunchtime and then a break. And then our best chance for storms will come after 7 or 8 o'clock this evening. It is a level 1 risk, so we do have the chance that a few of these cells could produce some wind damage. We have gray skies as you're heading out the door. Of course, as we look past the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences, it looks pretty gray out there and cool too. It's 52 in Roanoke Rapids, 60 in Durham, and 56 in Goldsboro. Heading out the door for your morning run. I mean, those are comfortable run temperatures. At lunchtime, we'll see temperatures near 70. We may climb into the mid 70s for this afternoon. This is not our only chance for rain this week. We have another chance on Saturday. We'll check out the timing for that coming up. Ken?
Elizabeth, weather and traffic every 10 minutes. Boy, things are really beginning to pick up on that northern loop of the Beltline as we look live at I-440 and New Bern Avenue. Those are the westbound lanes moving away from us this morning. So let's widen out the view, give you an entire look at that stretch. And the bulk of the delays really happening between Capitol Boulevard and the I-87 440 interchange. Right now, you're looking at a 7-minute delay if that's part of your morning commute. Coming up, I'll take a look at some other major routes to see if I'm picking up any delays at this hour.
Now to a story that you'll see first on WRAL. New polling shows Democrats with an early edge in the coming midterm elections. A new opinion diagnostics poll shows Democrat Roy Cooper leading Republican Michael Whatley by 9 points in the race for the state's open U.S. Senate seat. With more than 6 months before Election Day, about 8% are still undecided. New polls also show voter sentiment leaning toward Democrats in other races as economic sentiment turns gloomier and as Trump's approval rating falls. You can read about those polls and about Governor Josh Stein's approval rating in the NC Capitol section of WRAL.com. We have a live look now here over Salem Street in downtown Apex. Salem Street is the site of the town's streetscape project, which is now on hold. This is causing worry for businesses that have dealt with months of disruptions. Apex Mayor Jacques Gilbert says work on the Salem Streetscape project stopped because of electrical issues. Design changes are happening right now, and businesses on Salem Street say the construction has already reduced the number of customers they would see, and the concern is this could drag on.
We've cut back some hours for staff members. We're really running tight on what we bring in.
But we do have had a pretty big drop in just foot traffic.
Mayor Gilbert says the Streetscape project is still on track to be completed in October.
Elon Musk taking the stand in a California courtroom yesterday. This is part of his high-profile lawsuit against Sam Altman, the co-founder and CEO of OpenAI, maker of ChatGPT. Musk claims the executives at OpenAI deceived him when it became a for-profit business. It originally billed itself as a nonprofit operation. Musk says he invested in the company back in 2015, but left 3 years later. It's unclear how long the jury trial will last. Well, the State Department is rolling out passports with the image of President Trump inside. The department says this is being done to help mark the country's 250th anniversary. The State Department will begin issuing the passports this summer. Now, it's unclear how many will be issued or whether a recipient will have to request the specifically designed passport.
Well, DC and Marvel fans united for a great cause. WakeMed Children's Hospital has transformed into a superheroes world. Caped Crusaders rappelled down the side of the building while patients inside dressed up like their favorite characters. Families say the celebration gives kids a chance to just be kids.
To see him happy with a beautiful smile on his face every day. And he's going to keep talking about it over and over and over.
You get to see them kind of turn into this different persona almost too, especially with it being superhero. Our kids are always superheroes, but when they get to come out and be a kid, you get to see them be playful, you get to see them smile, and you get to see them play with each other.
Oh, how fun. There were also snacks and face painting. Later in the day, the superheroes made special visits to other children who couldn't leave their rooms.
Oh, that's a wonderful opportunity for them. Well, North Carolina drought is now taking a toll on unlikely populations. The North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission says our native bees are ground dwellers. The drought makes it more difficult for bees to burrow. Water restrictions mean less floral resources for our bees. And bee larvae is a protein for livestock. Between that and produce, the drought's impact on North Carolina bees could play a role in what you buy from the farmer's market.
Strawberries are a big agricultural crop right now, and native bees play a huge role in pollinating strawberries. So I certainly think that there's going to be some trickle-down effects to some of the things that we don't think about.
Well, the Wildlife Resources Commission also says if you see these burrows, don't pour gasoline on them or into the holes. The risk is twofold. It eliminates important pollinators and adds fuel during the drought.
Well, this drought is impacting us in so many different ways. And Elizabeth, walking into the station this morning, I was talking to someone and I was saying I've never been this excited for just a little bit of rain at this point.
Every little bit counts for sure. It's not going to be a whole lot, but we do at least have another chance on Saturday. We'll hope for more at that point. But this front has caused a lot of trouble as it's crossed the country, producing a lot of places. We have some video of some huge hail that fell in Missouri, and you can see, just wait for it. It was look at that. 4-inch size diameter piece of hail, like baseball size. And it wasn't just that car. The hundreds of cars in Springfield, Missouri were smashed by that large hail. We'll watch it maybe one more time because it's pretty dramatic. Boom, there it is. God, you're glad that it's not your car, right? We may have some hail with this, but it's not going to be baseball-sized hail. We do have a level 1 risk for severe storms. Isolated wind damage would be our biggest threat, but some small to medium-sized hail possibly could be another threat with this system. We take a look at what's happening right now. We have the chance by, say, noon or so to have a few isolated showers roll through. A lot of us won't even see that, and the people who do, it's probably only going to be about 1/10 of an inch. And then by 7 o'clock, a line starts to form up, but it's a very broken line, and not everybody will see these thunderstorms either. But where they do pop up, they'll produce some brief heavy rain and some strong gusty winds. The next weather maker after that on Saturday has a better chance of more widespread rain. It's more likely that we'll have some heavier totals down to the south and east. This is a coastal low, so it depends on how far inland that front ends up. And so we're hoping it comes inland because, boy, everybody needs that rain. But here's a look at Friday. This is Friday at 4 p.m. We'll start to see the clouds increasing, and late Friday night, there could be some showers. By 7 a.m., we begin to see the rain filling in. So it does affect us for most of the day Saturday. This is a look at a best case scenario view at Saturday with all that widespread rain, and it looks moderate to steady at times and doesn't move out until closer to midnight. That's what we want. We'll see if that pans out. For today, it's anywhere from 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of rain, and then maybe 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch on Saturday. But if that front will move a little farther north, maybe we'll see a bit more. In order to end the drought in a month's time, we need anywhere from 10 to 14 inches of rain across our area, and that's highly unlikely to happen. Saturday, what we will see is some cooler temperatures, 64 on Saturday, even 68 on Sunday. So cooler this weekend with that chance of rain on Saturday. Ken?
Well, Elizabeth, happening now, we're going to start with that southern loop of the Beltline. This is the usual morning congestion that we see in I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. Those are the westbound lanes moving away from us this morning. So let's widen out the view, give you a look at the sensors. Really just a 4-minute delay that we're looking at in that southern loop of the Beltline. If you're coming in from Garner, Johnston County, no delays between Highway 36 and the Beltline as well. That northern loop of the Beltline, boy, traffic has really picked up a bit. I-440 and New Bern Avenue, these are the westbound lanes moving away from us this morning. So here's what it looks like on that entire stretch from I-87 440 interchange all the way over to Wade Avenue. The bulk of it really is right at Capitol Boulevard and that interchange. Right now, you're looking at a 7-minute delay. So nothing that's going to make you late. So as you widen out the view, some other routes heading into the Raleigh County area, you're looking at a 9-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest. It's a 3-minute delay from Apex. Run news, weather, and traffic after the break.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. The time is 8:26. I'm Laura Levine. Let's get right over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gartner as we are tracking some rain chances today, Elizabeth.
Our best chance of rain will come right around lunchtime with just a few isolated showers, and then an even better chance later on this evening around 8 or 9 o'clock. That's when our cold front will come through. We're going to have some cells that produce some brief heavy rain and some potential wind damage. We take a live look at Raleigh right now past the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences. Temperatures are starting to warm up. It's 62 in Southern Pines, 60 in Raleigh, and 57 in Wilson and Goldsboro. So around town today, if you're out at lunchtime, just remember there could be a few isolated showers. Temperatures will be near 70. During the evening commute, we're likely to be dry with temperatures in the mid-70s. Ken?
Happening now, Elizabeth, we're going to take a look at that southern loop of the Beltline, keep you updated on what we're seeing. I-40 Lake Wheeler Road, these are the westbound lanes moving away from us this morning. Right now, you're looking at a 4-minute delay. It was up to 7 minutes, so things are getting better on that southern loop of the Beltline. But wherever else you're navigating I-40 westbound from, you coming in from Garner, Johnston County, no delays between Highway 36 and the Beltline. And if you're navigating through Wade Avenue, it's delay-free at this hour. Another update at the bottom of the hour.
This morning, we are working to learn more about a police investigation in Durham. The WRAL breaking news tracker was on East Main Street around 11 last night. You can see officers at that scene. We have reached out to find out more information about this investigation and if there were any arrests. Happening today, Vance County is holding a listening session on data centers. County leaders approved rezoning land for a data center without community input. People are wondering how the decision affects natural resources. You can share your opinion today at 3:30. We'll have much more news coming up next on Fox 50.
Some scattered rain in our forecast for today, and later on, the chance of some severe weather. I'll let you know if the rain that we see this week will make a dent in our drought conditions.
Property tax relief. A new bill will put a pause on adjustments based on new reappraisals. What it could mean for your tax bill and why some local leaders are opposed.
Data center dispute. Today, people in Vance County sharing their thoughts after rezoning plans were approved without community input. The questions they're asking government leaders.
Lots to get to in this half hour. We always appreciate your time. I'm Ken Smith.
And I'm Laura Levine. You can see it's a little bit cloudy out there. We're
bad.
seeing this all over the viewing area right now. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner tracking when we'll actually see some rain today, Elizabeth.
Right now, we're seeing some showers in the mountains, especially the northern mountains. All of that's going to keep sliding eastward toward us. Around lunchtime, we'll have a few isolated showers that some of us will see, but not everybody. And then eventually, the cold front, which is crossing Tennessee right now, will move through. That'll be after dinner time. That'll bring us our best chance of any severe storms. Let's walk through Futurecast, and you can see as we're getting closer to 11 and noon, a few isolated showers that start to pop up across our area. And then after that, we have a line of thunderstorms that develops after dinner time. A lot of that in the newest run of the model is in our northern counties. So not everybody may see this, but where we do see it, the rain will be heavy and there could be the potential for some damaging wind. It's a level 1 risk, which means that chance is really just isolated. So it's a dry morning commute for us. We have that potential for a few isolated showers closer to lunchtime. Keep your umbrella handy. And then some of those storms developing after the evening commute. It is gray and mild this morning, actually. 60 degrees in the Triangle. That's a live look at Rocky Mount Mills. We'll see highs this afternoon in the mid-70s. We do have another chance for rain this week. It comes on Saturday. I'll show you what could bring us a bit more rain than we're seeing today. Coming up, Ken.
Elizabeth, happening now. Let's start with this southern loop of the Beltline. Give you a live look at I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. These are the westbound lanes moving away from us. And it stands to reason that once you get around the bend, around the Gorman Street exit, it's clear sailing toward the Cary area. Right now, you're just looking at a 6-minute delay on that southern loop of the Beltline. If you're coming in from Gardner, Johnston County, no delays whatsoever. Things are beginning to thin out on the northern loop of the Beltline as we take a live look at I-440 and New Bern Avenue. Those are the westbound lanes moving away from us this morning. So let's give you a look at that entire section of the Beltline. Really and truly, you've seen an ebb and flow of traffic all along this route from the 87 440 interchange all the way over to Wade Avenue. Again, you're looking at a 7-minute delay on that northern loop of the Beltline. So plan accordingly as you get ready to leave the house. As we widen out the view, we're looking at an 8-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest right now on US 1 South. Virtually no delays on US 1 North coming in from Apex. And boy, if you're coming in from Durham and I-40 eastbound, you're delay free right now. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. Breaking news. Police in Fayetteville are investigating a homicide. Officers responded to Ruby Road at around 2 this morning of reports of a suspicious person. That man was taken into custody and he led officers to a home on Abram Street. There they found a woman dead from several stab wounds. Police have not yet released the name of the victim. They have also not announced any arrests. Well, as mentioned earlier by meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner, we aren't expecting to get much rain this morning, but we could see some storms roll in later today. This comes as the state is facing a drought. This is a look at our current drought monitor around Falls Lake. You can see that area is in extreme drought. The north part of the Triangle is in the same situation. The rest is under a severe drought. So WRAL's Allie Catlabar is live at Falls Lake for us this morning. And Allie, we'll need a lot more rain to get us out of the drought.
Yeah, Laura, 10 to 12 inches of rain in about a month's time is what we need to get out of the drought. Here at Falls Lake, the water level just isn't anywhere near where it's supposed to be. We just spoke with a group of kayakers who said that they're having to take different routes in order to ride on the water. And then we just spoke with this man on the boat here. He said it was a struggle to get that boat out on the water. So just a wide range of effects for this drought. Now, this week's data shows Falls Lake is at its lowest level ever for the month of April. Now, it's about 3 feet below full. And the WRAL Severe Weather Center expects Falls Lake to get about 1/4 of an inch of rain in the next 7 days. The lake is the main source of water for Raleigh water customers, and that's why use restrictions are in place. The city does say that water usage is down 35 million gallons compared to previous weeks, and they expect us to be in a stage 1 water restrictions for the end of June. And so you can track the rain forecast, you can track the radar on the WRAL weather app. Reporting live at Falls Lake, Allie Catlabar, WRAL News.
This morning, we are working to learn more about a police investigation in Durham. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker on East Main Street at around 11 last night. We have reached out to Durham police to find out what they were investigating and if there were any arrests. So far, we have not heard back.
A pause on property reappraisals across the state. The proposal of North Carolina legislators are expected to discuss today at a legislative committee. WRAL's Kirsten Clark is at the legislative building where lawmakers are hoping to help people save on property taxes.
House Bill 301 would require users to be 14 or older to have a social media account instead of 13 years old. It would also require parents and guardians to give permission for 14 and 15-year-olds to have an account. The companies that own TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram already commonly require account holders to be at least 13 years old. But lawmakers are concerned because of the ease some children have had in creating accounts and the perceived harms of social media use on young people. The bill would fine social media companies up to $50,000 for each time a younger teen sets up an account against the law's provisions. Families under the bill could sue companies for the violation up to $10,000. The state Senate's Education Committee is scheduled to discuss the bill later this morning. You can find the latest updates on WRAL.com. In Raleigh, Kirsten Clark, WRAL News.
Today, you can share your thoughts on a new data center possibly coming to Vance County. County leaders approved rezoning land for data centers despite criticism from community members. As WRAL's Kelsey Coffey explains, people are asking a lot of questions about how these facilities could impact local resources.
Today, people in Vance County are sharing their opinion on data centers possibly coming to the area. They'll be addressing representatives from Governor Josh Stein's office. Just last week, county leaders approved rezoning this land for a new data center without community input.
We are had enough, and y'all talking about putting another one up in this town? Ma'am, please leave.
Data centers have been a hot topic of conversation for months across the Triangle. Apex just issued a moratorium placing a pause on data center development. The same developer that submitted a proposal in Apex has now made a rezoning request in Vance County. Hyperscale data centers are massive facilities companies use to hold IT software. Business owners like Hope Crabtree say government leaders need more time to research and decide whether data centers are right for the area.
There hasn't been proper studies done for us to be able to see what's the power draw going to be, what's the energy input, what's the energy output, and what's the water consumption.
People who support data centers say they are a way to generate more money into the local economy. You can share your thoughts today at 3:30 at the Civic Center at Vance Granville Community College. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Raleigh.
Meanwhile, Durham could join the list of communities with a ban on data centers. The city council discussed a 2-year moratorium last week. A formal vote is expected in the next few weeks. Chatham County and Wendell are among the other places that have already blocked development. We have extensive coverage on the battle against data centers across the state on our WRAL YouTube page. You can learn about what a data center is, the strain it could put on the power grid, your wallet, and our drought. You can go to WRAL YouTube channel and search data center.
Former FBI Director James Comey is expected to surrender to federal authorities in North Carolina later this week. Yesterday, he was indicted by a grand jury on charges he threatened the life of President Trump. The charges are related to a photo that he took on a North Carolina beach. Federal prosecutors say the photo of seashells that spelled out 8647 was a threat to President Trump. 86 is a common phrase in restaurants that means to cancel or get rid of an order. And President Trump is the 47th president of the United States. Well, Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche says Comey's case is unique, but this type of threat will not be tolerated. Also, Comey says he is innocent.
His alleged conduct is the same kind of conduct that we will never tolerate and that we will always investigate and regularly prosecute.
I'm still innocent. I'm still not afraid. And I still believe in the independent federal judiciary. So let's go.
Well, the U.S. Department of Justice says the photo constituted a threat against President Trump. Comey's attorney says they plan to contest the charges in court.
And happening today, the Federal Reserve is predicted to hold interest rate steady. Today's session could be Chair Jerome Powell's last as the leader of the Fed. The Senate Banking Committee is moving into the next steps of confirming Powell's replacement. President Trump nominated Kevin Warsh to take over the role. Powell may still be at the Fed after May 15th when his role as chair is set to end. But so far, he hasn't given any indication that he will stick around. A North Carolina state senator who represents parts of Wake and Granville counties is resigning. Democratic State Senator Terrence Everett represents District 18. He also works full-time as the executive director of the North Carolina Voter Protection Alliance. He says he's leaving the state Senate to devote more time to that role, citing his worries about voting rights in North Carolina. Everett is also withdrawing his name from the race for the District 18 seat. Tonight, families in Cumberland County will have the chance to give their thoughts on a proposed school closure. District leaders are considering closing Manchester and J.W. Kuhn Elementary School. Students would be reassigned next year. Tonight's school board special meeting will only discuss J.W. Kuhn Elementary. It starts at 6 p.m. at the school off Hope Mills Road in Fayetteville. Your time now, 8:41. Coming up, jury duty scam warning. Scammers pretending to be sheriff's deputies and people saying they've almost fallen for it. 7 on your side looks at how often it's happening and how to spot the signs.
Also, we're in Johnston County to meet this week's Teacher of the Week. Find out how she gets her kindergarten students to be excited about learning.
Looking at a chance of a few isolated showers right around lunchtime and then potentially a line of stronger storms later on this evening. Another chance for rain on Saturday. Coming up, I'll talk about how much we could see total this week. 8:44, we do have 2 chances for rain today. One of those right around lunchtime. It's likely to be fairly light and patchy. Not everybody will see it. And then a better chance of maybe more widespread storms come through after 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. Even then, I don't think everybody will see it. We do have a level 1 risk for severe storms, but I think we'll just see isolated potential for some wind damage with that front coming through. My look at Apex is gray but dry, and we're seeing gray skies everywhere. No rain yet across our area. 62 in Southern Pines, 60 in Durham, and 60 in Goldsboro. Starting to warm up just a little bit. After school practices mostly look pretty good. We should be fairly dry between 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock. After that, we may have a better chance of that line of storms coming through. Temperatures in the afternoon will climb into the mid-70s. Ken?
Elizabeth, happening now. Traffic, as you can see from our live traffic map, has definitely picked up on some of our major routes, including US 1 coming out of Apex, the northern southern loop of the Beltline, and checking a couple of secondary routes that tend to get busy during the morning hours. If you're coming in from Wake Forest, between Highway 98 and I-540, you're looking at a 7-minute delay. A little easier time for folks coming in on 401 out of Roseville. You're just looking at a 2-minute delay at this hour. So we widen out the view, give you a look at some other routes heading into the Raleigh-Wake County area. No delays on I-87 coming in from Knightdale. Again, that's at 7 minutes coming in from Wake Forest. And if you're coming on east on I-40 from Durham, you're just looking at a 1-minute delay at this hour.
Ken, here in the WRAL Live Center, I'm keeping an eye on that story that we were reporting on. We said previously that former FBI Director James Comey was set to appear in North Carolina for a court appearance where he was going to surrender. Well, we've learned from CNN, according to a source familiar with it, saying that he's actually going to surrender in Virginia in the Eastern District there. Why is this happening? For those of you who are new to the story, well, it's because of this photo right here. It says 8647. This is a photo that Comey uploaded to social media. And if you didn't know, 86 is in reference to usually getting rid of something, and then 47 referencing President Donald Trump, the 47th president of the United States. And so right now, he is being accused of threatening President Donald Trump, and that is why he is set to surrender, because he has been indicted by a grand jury. In terms of when that'll happen, there was a live feed coming up from that court outside that federal court in Virginia. That feed is now down, but we are going to stay on top of that story. But we also have a crew here locally in the event that what CNN is reporting doesn't quite line up with what's happening, but we're going to continue to stay with the story here on WRAL News.
Chris, thank you. A split-second decision nearly cost a woman thousands of dollars and potentially her financial identity. She told 5 on Your Side's Alex Littlehells what happened, hoping others will see the warning signs earlier than when she did.
All right, my mic's going off.
When your 2 choices are paying up or being put behind bars.
How close were you to actually, taking out
I was reaching for my purse.
Nicole Sickles found thinking clearly is easier said than done. Sickles reached out to WRAL after taking a call from someone claiming to be a Wake County Sheriff's deputy. The ultimatum: pay a fine for missing jury duty or be arrested.
And you do realize that when you miss your jury duty, we send several officers out for an arrest warrant.
The mother of 5, who is currently battling cancer, admitted she would have paid if not for a last-second intervention from her daughter.
But I think the way that I'm going through my health issues right now makes me a little bit more vulnerable than the average person.
Sheriff's office, the clerk's office, nobody is going to be calling you to pay money over the phone.
So how often are scammers impersonating county deputies? Well, WRAL requested information from the Wake County Sheriff's Office. Turns out there are at least 5 confirmed cases where someone was impersonating a law enforcement officer. In total, the agency has seen 181 total fraud reports this year alone.
The sheriff's office is public knowledge, and so they can easily get that online.
It's true. The Wake County Sheriff's Office may reach out if you've missed jury duty, but only by written notice, not by phone. Which is why if you are on the receiving end of this kind of call, hang up immediately. You can also verify the number they say they're calling from by looking up if the number matches the agency.
And that was Alex Littlehill's reporting. Our teacher of the week always knew she wanted a career in the classroom. We're at Westview Elementary School in Garner to recognize a dedicated kindergarten teacher.
All right, macaroni and cheese. Okay.
Tony Williams' journey to the classroom took a different turn in college, but she never gave up on her dream to become a teacher.
I actually went to college for criminal justice. So that's what my bachelor's degree is in, but teaching and children just has always been a passion of mine. All right, y'all ready for another one? Yeah! All right, next one.
Ms. Williams is acutely aware kindergarten is a pivotal time for her young students, and her goal is to provide a learning environment where they can thrive and be excited about coming to school.
I want to make it fun. I want their first year coming into school to be fun. I want learning to be fun, and hopefully they can continue that and enjoy learning as they go on through school. Hold up the correct sign.
What's especially gratifying for Ms. Williams is seeing the transformation of her young students over the course of a school year.
When they first come in, seeing what they don't know and what they do know, and then at the end of the year before they go off to first grade, seeing that growth that they have made is what's making me like, yeah, okay, I was meant to do this.
Ms. Williams, you are WRAL's Teacher of the Week. Give her a big round of applause, class. If you'd like to nominate a Teacher of the Week, just go to WRAL.com and search Teacher of the Week.
All right, shifting gears now, we are tracking some rain that's going to roll into our viewing area today, Elizabeth.
Yes, and we wish it was going to be more. This is a powerful front that's back to our west, and it's caused a lot of severe storms. As a matter of fact, we have some video to show you Mineral Wells, Texas, which is sort of north central Texas. There were tornadoes that rolled through there last night. You could see the destruction there, multiple buildings damaged, 2 people were hurt, and last night they had to install a curfew so that people didn't try to get in and see these homes and businesses because it was just too dangerous. We're not going to see anything like that here, but of course we've seen multiple reports as this front has moved across the country. We had some showers and storms last night moving to the south down into Atlanta and parts of Georgia and Alabama. But what we're going to see here going forward is just a few light showers. We'll see that right around lunchtime into the early part of the afternoon. Then we get a little bit of a break, and after 7 o'clock we'll begin to see a line of storms that starts to develop. The latest round of this run of the computer model shows most of that in our northern counties, but I wouldn't discount Fayetteville and Clinton as being a part of that as well. So we'll see some heavy rain, but it will be brief and we'll have the potential for some isolated wind damage. So we do have that level 1 risk for severe storms. So let's go over it again. Round 1 between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. Light showers that not everyone will see. And then after 7 o'clock up until around midnight, we'll have sort of a broken line that comes through and we'll have a small chance for some damaging wind gusts, maybe even some hail. So today is hit and miss showers. Tomorrow, Saturday, it's not Friday yet, is it? Saturday, we'll have a better chance of some widespread rain, but still not looking at any huge amounts this week. So the burn ban is still in effect until further notice. All total, for this week, today and Saturday, we're probably still going to be under an inch of rain in most places. Rocky Mount Mills looking gray this morning, but on the mild side. 60 degrees is our temperature here, and we're looking at mainly 60s this morning. We'll climb into the mid to upper 70s for this afternoon. Saturday, when we see showers in our area, temperatures will be below normal in the mid 60s, and some chilly mornings ahead. Sunday and Monday after the front, it's going to feel much cooler. So again, we have that small chance for rain today. Again, Saturday, it cools down, and then we're dry to start next week.
Elizabeth, thank you. Before we go to
break, here are the winning lottery numbers, and we'll get another check on the weather and traffic up next.